Ladies and gentlemen, life is unpredictable. Some days bring joy, others bring trials. But no matter what happens, one thing remains in your control: your response. The world around you will shift like the wind, but the foundation of your mind must remain steady. Events unfold in ways we cannot predict. People act in ways we cannot dictate, and circumstances shift without warning. If we tether our happiness to things beyond our control, we will live in a constant state of frustration, anxiety, and disappointment. However, when we shift our focus inward, directing our energy only toward what is within our power, we gain freedom. The mind finds clarity, emotions stabilize, and we develop an unshakable sense of peace. Many people waste time and energy worrying about external factors, what others think of them, whether the weather will cooperate, or if the world will align with their expectations. They stress over delays in traffic, get angry at the rudeness of a stranger, or dwell on past mistakes that can never be undone. But none of these things are within their control. The only thing they can truly govern is their own response. This realization is powerful. The moment we stop trying to control the uncontrollable and focus on managing our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we reclaim our inner strength. Imagine two people facing the same difficult situation, perhaps the loss of a job. One person spirals into despair, dwelling on the unfairness of the world, blaming the economy, or resenting those who still have work. The other accepts the situation as it is, then focuses on what can be done next. They update their resume, sharpen their skills, and move forward with purpose. The external event was the same, but the response was different. And it is the response that determines whether a person remains stuck in frustration or finds a path forward. The habit of focusing on what is controllable is not developed overnight. It requires practice, self-awareness, and discipline. It begins with the simple act of recognizing when we are engaging in fruitless worry. When we catch ourselves ruminating over an outcome we cannot change, we must redirect our attention. Instead of stressing over whether it will rain on an important day, we can prepare by bringing an umbrella. Instead of fearing how others will judge us, we can focus on acting with integrity. Instead of agonizing over past mistakes, we can choose to learn from them and move on. It is also important to recognize that control is not about domination. It is not about forcing people to act a certain way or manipulating situations to fit our desires. Rather, it is about mastering our own thoughts, behaviors, and choices. It is about having the self-discipline to remain calm when provoked, the self-awareness to shift our focus when our minds wander into unhelpful territory, and the wisdom to know where our influence ends. A major source of frustration for many is the desire to change other people. They wish their partner were more understanding, their colleague more competent, their family more supportive. But people are independent beings with their own thoughts, emotions, and experiences. We cannot force them to act as we wish. What we can do is set an example through our own behavior, communicate clearly, and set healthy boundaries. When we stop demanding that others change and instead refine our own actions, we find more peace and fewer conflicts. Focusing on what we can control also means accepting that some things will not go our way, no matter how much effort we put in. A business venture may fail despite careful planning. A relationship may end despite our best intentions. In such moments, frustration is natural, but prolonged resistance only deepens suffering. The key is to acknowledge reality, make the best decision available, and continue forward without attachment to the outcome. Training the mind to focus on the controllable is a daily practice. It is about catching ourselves before we react impulsively, redirecting our energy towards solutions instead of complaints, and letting go of worries that serve no purpose. It is not about passivity, but about active engagement with reality in a way that leads to clarity and effectiveness. It is in this focus that we find true freedom, regardless of what life brings our way. Life is filled with obstacles. No one moves through the world without encountering challenges, setbacks, and difficulties. Some see these moments as barriers, reasons to give up, or proof that life is unfair. Others, however, see obstacles as opportunities, chances to grow, learn, and develop resilience. This shift in perspective changes everything. It turns hardship into a teacher, adversity into fuel, and setbacks into stepping stones towards strength. When faced with an obstacle, the immediate reaction is often frustration. It is natural to feel resistance when things do not go as planned, a project fails, a goal takes longer than expected, or an unexpected difficulty arises. The first instinct may be to complain, to dwell on what could have been, or to wish things were easier. But this approach leads nowhere. It does not change the situation, and it does not make us stronger. What does make a difference is the ability to step back, take a breath, and ask a simple question. How can this challenge make me better? Every difficulty holds within it the potential for growth. A failed attempt teaches valuable lessons about what does not work. A rejection forces us to refine our skills, sharpen our approach, and try again with more wisdom. An unexpected hardship tests our patience and mental strength, giving us the chance to develop resilience. The person who avoids struggle avoids growth. The person who embraces challenges becomes stronger with each one. History is filled with examples of individuals who turned obstacles into opportunities. Innovators who faced rejection but persisted. Athletes who encountered injuries but came back stronger. Writers whose first books were ignored but went on to shape literature. What separated them from those who gave up was not luck, but mindset. They understood that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary part of it. Every challenge overcome adds to personal strength, sharpening skills and deepening understanding. Even the smallest daily frustrations can be seen as opportunities. Traffic that causes a delay is a chance to practice patience. A difficult conversation is an opportunity to develop better communication skills. A setback at work is a test of perseverance and adaptability. When viewed this way, life itself becomes a continuous training ground for resilience. Instead of being weighed down by problems, a person with this mindset grows stronger with each one. This way of thinking does not mean ignoring pain or pretending that challenges are easy. Some obstacles are deeply difficult, requiring time and effort to overcome. But even in the hardest moments, there is always an opportunity. If not for external success, then for internal growth. Hardships test character, revealing a person's true strength. They teach lessons that cannot be learned in comfort. They force deep reflection, pushing individuals to discover what they are truly capable of. When an obstacle appears, most people ask, "Why is this happening to me?" A more powerful question is, how can I use this to my advantage? The answer may not always be immediately clear, but the act of searching for meaning in struggle changes the way challenges are approached. It shifts the focus from feeling powerless to taking control. It turns difficulties into stepping stones, making each one a chance to rise higher. Adopting this mindset requires practice. It means training the mind to pause before reacting, to resist the urge to complain, and to look for the lesson in every struggle. It means refusing to see failure as the end, and instead seeing it as part of the path forward. Over time, this approach becomes second nature. Obstacles no longer seem like roadblocks, but like necessary tests, shaping a stronger, wiser, and more capable individual. In this way, every challenge faced becomes an opportunity, not just to succeed, but to grow into someone who is prepared for whatever life brings. Modern life is designed for comfort. Climate-controlled rooms, instant access to food, entertainment at the touch of a button. Everything is structured to minimize hardship and maximize ease. Yet despite this convenience, many people struggle with even minor discomforts. A delayed response to a message causes frustration, a skipped meal leads to irritability, and an unexpected inconvenience feels unbearable. The more we surround ourselves with comfort, the more fragile we become. This is why practicing voluntary discomfort is essential. By deliberately stepping into controlled hardship, we build resilience, discipline, and mental toughness that prepare us for life's inevitable challenges. Discomfort is not something to be avoided, it is something to be trained. If a person never pushes their body, even light physical effort feels exhausting. If they never endure hunger, a single missed meal feels unbearable. If they never sit in silence, they become restless when left alone with their thoughts. The mind and body adapt to whatever conditions they experience regularly. A life free of struggle creates a person unprepared for even minor hardships, while a life that includes voluntary discomfort strengthens a person to handle far greater difficulties. There are many ways to practice this. Fasting, for example, is a simple yet effective way to build discipline. Choosing to go without food for a period of time teaches patience, self-control, and the ability to function under mild physical stress. It reminds a person that hunger is not an emergency, that discomfort is not suffering, and that they have control over their impulses. Another method is physical exertion. Pushing the body through exercise, training in difficult conditions, or enduring the elements toughens both the body and the mind. A cold shower in the morning, walking instead of driving, or sleeping without extra comfort may seem insignificant, but over time these small choices build a mindset that can endure greater challenges. Beyond physical discomfort, mental and emotional discomfort should also be practiced. This means having difficult conversations instead of avoiding them, confronting fears instead of running from them, and resisting the urge to escape boredom with distractions. Sitting in silence without entertainment, facing moments of loneliness without seeking immediate validation, and embracing challenges instead of avoiding them all strengthen the mind. The ability to tolerate discomfort in one area of life transfers to all others. A person who can sit with their thoughts without needing distraction is also more likely to remain calm under pressure. A person who can push through physical discomfort is less likely to be overwhelmed by mental stress. Practicing voluntary discomfort does not mean seeking out suffering for its own sake. It is not about making life harder than it needs to be. It is about training the mind and body to handle challenges before they arise. Life is unpredictable, and real hardship will come at some point. The question is not whether difficulties will happen, but whether a person will be prepared to face them. Those who have never trained for discomfort often collapse under pressure, while those who have built resilience through small, controlled hardships are able to stand firm. Comfort has its place, but it should be earned rather than expected. A warm meal is more satisfying after a day of fasting. Rest feels more deserved after hard work. Victory is sweeter after struggle. The balance of hardship and ease makes both more meaningful. A person who embraces discomfort not only builds strength but also learns to appreciate comfort when it comes, rather than taking it for granted. Training for discomfort is a lifelong practice. It does not require extreme measures, only consistent effort. A little hunger, a little cold, a little effort beyond what is easy, all of these add up over time. They shape a person into someone who does not panic in difficult moments, who remains steady when faced with stress, and who is able to endure far more than they once thought possible. By voluntarily choosing discomfort, a person prepares for whatever challenges life may bring, meeting them not with fear, but with quiet, practiced strength. Silence is often misunderstood. In a world that values constant communication, instant reactions, and the need to always express opinions, silence is seen as weakness, as avoidance, or as a lack of confidence. But in reality, silence is a source of immense strength. It is the space where wisdom develops, where emotions settle, and where clarity emerges. The ability to remain silent when necessary, to pause before reacting, and to listen more than one speaks, is a skill that cultivates discipline, control, and power over one's own mind. Most people react impulsively. When they feel insulted, they lash out. When they hear something they disagree with, they argue immediately. When they are uncomfortable in silence, they fill the space with meaningless words. This is a sign of a restless mind, a lack of discipline over one's emotions. But a person who understands the power of silence does not fall into this trap. Instead of reacting immediately, they observe. Instead of engaging in unnecessary conflict, they wait. Instead of speaking without thinking, they choose their words carefully. This creates an air of mystery, a sense of control, and a presence that commands respect. There is strength in withholding words. Not every argument needs to be won. Not every insult needs a response, and not every thought needs to be spoken aloud. When someone criticizes or provokes, the expected reaction is defensiveness, anger, or justification. But silence in these moments is far more powerful. It signals confidence, self-control, and an unwillingness to be dragged into unnecessary conflict. It unsettles those who seek a reaction, leaving them powerless. The one who stays silent holds control, while the one who speaks impulsively reveals their emotions and weaknesses. Silence also creates space for deeper understanding. When listening instead of speaking, a person learns more about others, about situations, and about themselves. Many people listen only to respond, not to understand. Their minds are already forming arguments before the other person has finished speaking. But true listening requires silence. Not just outward quiet, but inner stillness. When practiced, this leads to stronger relationships, better decision-making, and a clearer perspective on the world. Beyond communication, silence is a tool for inner mastery. The mind is constantly filled with noise, thoughts, worries, distractions. Most people seek to drown out this noise with external sound, whether through music, conversation, or endless scrolling on screens. But true strength is found in being comfortable with silence, in allowing thoughts to settle without distraction. This is where clarity arises, where deep reflection happens, where true self-awareness is developed. Those who fear silence fear facing themselves. Those who embrace silence gain control over their own minds. Silence is also a weapon in negotiation, in leadership, and in personal interactions. A well-timed pause can shift the balance of power in a conversation. A moment of silence after someone speaks forces them to reveal more, often saying things they did not intend. Those who can sit in silence without feeling the need to fill it with words are often the ones who command the most respect. Their presence alone carries weight, not because they speak often, but because when they do, their words are carefully chosen and meaningful. Mastering silence does not mean never speaking. It means knowing when to speak and when to hold back. It means not allowing emotions to dictate words. It means understanding that silence can be more powerful than noise, that presence does not always require voice, and that true strength is found not in speaking the most, but in speaking only when necessary. By embracing silence, a person develops patience, self-discipline, and a quiet confidence that speaks louder than any words ever could. Gratitude is a simple concept, yet it has the power to transform the way life is experienced. Many people chase happiness as if it is something to be acquired, believing it will come when they achieve a goal, buy something new, or receive recognition. But happiness is not found in external achievements. It is rooted in perspective. Gratitude shifts that perspective. It turns what one already has into enough, redirects focus from what is lacking to what is present, and cultivates a sense of contentment that is independent of circumstances. A person without gratitude always feels like something is missing. They see what they do not have rather than what they do. Their mind is occupied with comparison, envy, and dissatisfaction. No matter what they accomplish, it never feels like enough because their attention is always on what could be better. But a person who practices gratitude sees life differently. They appreciate even the smallest moments, recognizing that nothing is guaranteed and that each day holds something to be thankful for. A simple meal, a conversation with a friend, the warmth of the sun. These are things that many overlook, but are in reality great gifts. Gratitude is not dependent on wealth, status, or success. Some of the happiest people in the world have very little in material terms, yet they feel rich because they value what they have. On the other hand, there are those who have everything, money, possessions, achievements, but remain deeply unhappy because they are always wanting more. The difference is not in what they own, but in how they see it. Gratitude creates a sense of abundance, while lack of gratitude creates a sense of scarcity. It is not life's circumstances that determine fulfillment, but the mindset through which those circumstances are viewed. Practicing gratitude does not mean ignoring difficulties. Life brings hardship, loss, and struggle, but even in difficult moments, there is something to be grateful for. Pain teaches resilience, challenges build strength, and every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. A person who cultivates gratitude does not deny suffering, but chooses to see the lessons within it. They recognize that even in darkness, there is light to be found. This mindset does not eliminate hardship, but it changes how hardship is experienced. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, a person with gratitude finds meaning even in adversity. One of the most powerful ways to build gratitude is through daily reflection. Taking time to acknowledge even 3 things to be thankful for each day shifts focus away from complaints and toward appreciation. These do not have to be grand things. Even small moments like a kind gesture, a good meal, or a peaceful moment are worth recognizing. Over time, this practice rewires the brain to seek out the good rather than dwell on the negative. What was once taken for granted becomes a source of joy. Gratitude also strengthens relationships. Expressing appreciation for others builds connection and deepens bonds. A simple thank you carries weight, showing people they are valued. Those who regularly express gratitude toward friends, family, and colleagues create an atmosphere of positivity. On the other hand, those who fail to acknowledge the kindness of others often find their relationships strained, as people feel unappreciated or taken for granted. A grateful person naturally attracts warmth and goodwill because their presence uplifts those around them. Life is uncertain, and nothing is guaranteed. Health, relationships, and opportunities can change in an instant. Gratitude recognizes this reality and encourages appreciation for the present moment. Instead of waiting for something more, it allows one to find fulfillment in what is already here. The power of gratitude is that it requires nothing external, only a shift in awareness. It turns even an ordinary life into an extraordinary one by revealing the beauty that was always there, waiting to be noticed. Time is the most valuable resource a person has. Unlike money, possessions, or status, time can never be regained once it is spent. Every passing second is gone forever, making it essential to use time wisely. Yet many people treat time carelessly, wasting it on distractions, meaningless activities, and pursuits that do not align with their goals. They assume they have endless time, only to realize too late that they have let precious moments slip away. Valuing time means recognizing its importance, using it intentionally, and ensuring that each day is spent in a way that brings meaning and purpose. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming they will always have more time. They put off their dreams, delay important conversations, and tell themselves they will start later. But life is unpredictable, the future is uncertain, and opportunities do not wait forever. Procrastination is one of the greatest thieves of time. It gives the illusion of control, making people believe they can always begin tomorrow. But tomorrow is not guaranteed. Those who understand the value of time do not wait for the perfect moment. They act. They take steps toward their goals now, knowing that even small efforts accumulate over time. Time is often lost in meaningless distractions. Modern life is filled with endless ways to waste time. Mindless scrolling, excessive entertainment, unnecessary arguments, and constant busyness without real productivity. Many people fill their days with activities that do not contribute to their growth or well-being, simply because they have not consciously decided how to use their time. To value time means to be aware of where it goes, to question whether an activity is truly worth it, and to eliminate what does not serve a meaningful purpose. Another way time is wasted is by spending it on things that do not align with one's true priorities. Many people say they want to improve their health, strengthen relationships, or pursue meaningful goals. Yet they spend hours on things that do not support these intentions. They complain about having no time for exercise while spending hours watching television. They say they want to write a book, but never set aside time to do so. The truth is, time is not lacking. What is lacking is priority. Those who value time are clear about what matters most and ensure that their actions reflect those values. One of the most important aspects of valuing time is understanding that it should not only be spent wisely, but also with intention. This does not mean working endlessly or filling every moment with tasks. It means being present in each experience. Wasting time is not just about distractions. It is also about failing to fully engage with the present moment. A person may spend time with their family but be distracted by their phone, missing the true connection that time could offer. They may be at work but mentally elsewhere, reducing both their productivity and their sense of fulfillment. Valuing time means giving full attention to whatever is being done, ensuring that it is meaningful rather than just another passing moment. People often regret wasted time more than anything else. No one looks back on their life wishing they had spent more time on trivial things. Instead, they wish they had pursued their dreams sooner, spent more time with loved ones, and focused on what truly mattered. Time is not infinite, and once it is gone, it cannot be retrieved. This is why it must be guarded carefully. It must not be given away to things that do not matter, to people who do not appreciate it, or to habits that bring no value. Every moment is a choice, and those who understand the worth of time make choices that lead to a meaningful and fulfilling life. To value time is to respect life itself. It means recognizing that each day is an opportunity, each hour a chance to grow, and each minute a gift that should not be wasted. Those who treat time with care live with a sense of urgency, not in a stressful way, but with purpose. They move through life intentionally, ensuring that when their time eventually runs out, they have used it well. Time is the one thing we can never get back, and how we choose to spend it defines the course of our lives. Every moment holds the potential for growth, meaning, and purpose, but only if we recognize its value. Instead of letting time slip away unnoticed, we must guard it fiercely, use it wisely, and invest it in things that truly matter. When we live with this awareness, we move through life with intention, making each day count. In the end, the measure of a well-lived life is not in how much time we had, but in how well we used it.